Okay. Well, the first board has begun. First board of the semifinals, 56 boards in total that we're going to be playing today. And yeah, let's follow this table, I guess, just because it was the first one I clicked on. I mean, you're not really going to get a bad match at this point, no matter where you go sit. And so there was a bit of drama yesterday in the Lankveld match. When I checked the scoreboard this morning, hey Allie, thanks for hanging out with me. I'm having a good time. I mean, I hadn't done commentary in a while, so it's been super fun. I'm trying to get as much of this in as possible before I actually start work, because I figure I'll have far less time once that happens. So yeah, just looking to do something like this, which will be a little fun in the meantime. So first board, East opens a club, 12 count. We got South, whose best suit is clubs. Obviously not going to make an overcall. I mean, I think a lot of players would overcall diamond with South's hand, but this player elects not to. Auction starts a diamond, or a club, a spade, a no trump by East, and West with his 12 count needs to decide, kind of conditional on opening bid style, is this hand invitational, is it game forcing? So he starts with 2 clubs. I think most players play this 2 clubs as like a relay to 2 diamonds to show all invitational hand types. And so it's just like an artificial invite. And that's what we have here, 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 no. You might wonder why not just bid 2 no directly over 1 no. It's probably because 2 no trump would show clubs systemically. That's frequently how that bid is used. So to show a invite with exactly 4 spades, you do this. To show an invite with 5 spades, you can go like 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 spades. And to show an invite with 6 spades, you can just jump to 3 spades directly. Well, South not really believing the opponent's club opening bid, elects to lead the king of clubs, which is not going to be the best opening lead, I don't think. I suspect that a diamond would have worked out a little bit better for his side. They do have a nice diamond fit there with some intermediate honors. So Declare has, I guess, 3 heart tricks, 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, and a spade. That'll be 8 easy tricks. I say 2 clubs because the king of clubs lead marks the queen with South. And then the singleton king of spades falling means Declare will be taking an extra spade trick. So looks like East-West have missed a game, at least on this opening lead. Maybe it's a bit of a fortunate game that makes, but we could see a swing on the very first board. Oh no. It started already, the Vugraph undos. I'm gonna pop out of this table just really quick to see who's playing at the other table. So we are in the Lankveld Vinciguerra match. So we have Vinciguerra and Soule versus De Boer and Snellers in the other room. Hey PJF. Welcome, welcome. So Declare is just setting up his 8th trick in the jack of clubs. You know, didn't bother ducking a round of diamonds. Just happy to make his contract from here and is going to have a pleasant surprise when the king of spades falls singleton. Or maybe an unpleasant surprise, depending on what happens at the other table. I suppose if Declare was like really trying to match point this hand, Um, they could play south for the king of spades and, of course, the club length, which is known at this point, and run the heart suit, and then go like jack of clubs and exit a club, hoping that south is like end played into leading a spade away from the king. But obviously in 2-no trump, that's not something we're going to do. So there are, avenues for which declare gets to 3-no trump and goes down, even on such a favorable lead as the high club. But for now, declare elects to just lead a club to the jack. Certainly going to play a club back or a spade back to the ace. I guess there's some chance that declare like tries to lead the queen of spades, pinning like a singleton jack or 10 with south, but it looks like he goes with the simple line, spade to the ace, spade to the queen, and the defense get the last two. Probably a claim about to happen. That's presumably what we're waiting for. We're not waiting for south to discard a small diamond on this trick. There's Australia versus New Zealand playoffs in the Asia Pacific Bridge Federation event as well. That's like kind of a little sad for all of the other countries, isn't it? I mean, is this the finals? Because if it's a tournament that's supposed to like determine which of the countries that are not Australia and New Zealand get a spot in the Bermuda Bowl, then having Australia and New Zealand as the top two teams might be a little bit demoralizing. But yeah, that's of course going on at the same time. I guess they are probably wrapping up play shortly. It is late at night for you all over there. So board 2, we're a little bit ahead of the other table, so we'll keep an eye on the result on board 1, see if they bid their 24.3 no trump game that luckily happens to make. But 2 passes around to west, who opens a club. 1 club just alerted as could be short, I think. North passes. This is the second hand in a row where north-south have had a 5-card club suit after east-west have opened a club. So a club pass a spade, south passes, west will bid 2 clubs probably. I could see west bid a no trump. It's possible. It might depend on your agreements a little bit. I mean, the fact that they just have, so many values in the red suits kind of suggests playing a no trump rather than a weak 6-card club suit. Can north-south make a part score in spades? I mean, I'm sure they can. They would probably rather play in hearts, I think, because they also have an 8-card fit, but they don't have to deal with a bad trump split. But it's going to be hard for them to get to a major suit, I think, at this point in the auction. North decided he was just getting froze out of the bidding. East-West have gotten to 3 clubs. And I don't think North should go after this, but, if this was match points, I would be very tempted to do so. With the 5 trumps, the thing about North's hand is just like king 8, 5th of clubs. He knows his partner's void, so he knows the opponents have all of the ace, queen, jack, 10, 9, and therefore he only has 1 natural club trick. But North elects to lead a club. I think there is an argument to be made for leading any of clubs, spades, or diamonds from North's hand. Diamonds may be the least attractive, but one thing you can do when you have trump length is try and tap declare. And so a spade lead is a little bit attractive. If you're pursuing that route, then you can gain trump control. And I mean, I don't know what he would do with trump control, but at least it would promote extra trump winners in his hand for later. The opening club lead might prevent ruffs and dummy, so that's what North is going for. Also, it's just kind of safe. Well, now that the Jack of Clubs held, Declare is going to spend a little bit of time thinking. What will happen in diamonds? Good question. There are a couple of possibilities that Declare can try right now, and I think this heart discard might put Declare on the right path. It looks to me like this heart discard is discouraging, and South would definitely encourage if he had the ace of hearts. I mean, like, at least if he wanted to discard a heart. Ooh. Well, Declare has gone wrong. I mean, kind of. My thinking is, like, with the ace of hearts kind of marked offside, there's no reason to play on hearts yourself, because, you know, the finesse isn't going to win, and you can... North is going to get in, play another club, no heart ruff in the dummy. So it looked kind of natural to me to maybe play on the diamond suit, given that we had 3 entries to dummy to do so, the ace jack of clubs and the ace of spades. And I believe the way that I might play on the diamond suit would be the percentage play, which is first low to the 7, which would force the king. But the point is we can make 2 diamond tricks against either the jack-10 onside or the king onside, and we have plenty of entries to pick up both. It's kind of counterbalanced with the fact that if we play a diamond to the 7 and it loses to, like, the 10 or something, then we might play a diamond to the queen and it gets ruffed. So it's not terribly unreasonable to do what Declare's done here, at least in the diamond suit itself. Diamond to the queen, just hoping to collect 2 diamond tricks and then effectively, like, cash your winners on the outside and score however many clubs you get. Why not the 9 of diamonds? I think it's, like, okay to play low. It's okay to play the 9. I don't think it would have changed anything. There's no chance that South would have covered the 9 of diamonds, no matter what his diamond holding was. So, not a defender of this caliber, at least, I don't believe. But it can't hurt, right? I mean, it's not like that 9 of diamonds is important elsewhere. Okay, sure, if South had the singleton jack, then he might have covered the 9 off dummy. Might have. Well, he can always revoke. There are choices. There's always choices. Except on trick 13. You have no choices on trick 13. Declare is going to be feeling a little bit silly right now, because not only has all of this nonsense happened to him, but now he is getting tapped out. Drop the card on the floor, trick 13, claim a missteal. Is that the strategy if you've gotten a bad result? Oh my god, okay. Here's a story about a local bridge club, like how people cheat at local bridge clubs. So, I was playing a team match with, actually with one of the players who just won the women's event in this. I was playing with Anam Tepa. And a couple of... You're blocking your ears right now? No. This is a good one. So I was playing with Anam and I think Christian Jolly and I forget who else. But it was like a team game at the local club. And at my table, I bid to 4 hearts and a 4-3 fit and made it. And I didn't notice this, but one of the ladies who we were playing against took one of the cards in her hand and flipped it over face up before sticking the cards back in the board. And so when the board went to the other table, people pulled the cards out and the card was face up and everyone saw it, so the board got fouled and thrown out. And and she was just, and so like the director comes over and is just like, so, okay, the board got fouled or whatever, and she's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And I went around and like asked other people, because I was just like, okay, I mean, like maybe it was an honest mistake, but it feels a little suspicious that it happened on this one specific board. And other people were just like, oh yeah, she does that all the time. And I was just like, what? What do you mean she does that all the time? How can someone just do that and get away with it? Well, yeah, truly appalling. It really is. All right, back to the match at hand. So board 1, we did see the other table reach 3 no trump, but North-South, having bid and showed their diamond fit, probably got off to a diamond opening lead. And I don't think Declare necessarily goes down if they guess every high card from here, but the diamond opening lead does make things a little more difficult. So that was a 5-imp pickup for Lankveld on board 1 for staying out of the game. Well, this hand is getting a little bit exciting. So South opened a club, West with a 13 count overcalls a heart, 5-card heart suit. North elects to pass. And I think that's going to do his side very well for the remainder of the auction. So pass, South reopens with double over a heart, makes a ton of sense. Pass by West. North elects to bid a spade. I don't think there's anything wrong with passing out a heart doubled. You aren't in game yet, but he does have a 4-card spade suit. His partner, his trump suit is fairly weak. Like, it would be a lot different if North had like Queen 10-9 5th of hearts as opposed to Queen empty 5th. Yeah, so the question, why does South not pass a spade? South probably thinks that there's still a chance his side has a game. It might be misguided, and I think this is part of the reason why North passing a heart should work out fairly well for his side, at least the way the auction developed, because South should know his partner can't have 4 spades and a decent hand, or he would have started with a negative double. So I think I personally would have passed a spade as South if the auction had proceeded this way, but it's hard to say. South probably came up with some sort of hand where his partner had the Jack of Spades and a big diamond fit. Like maybe Jack of Spades and King 5th of diamonds and out. And he might be able to, on 2-2 diamonds, lose just a spade and a heart. So 5 diamonds could make. It still feels a little bit remote, but maybe that's the thought process. Well, we've ended up in 3 clubs. It's not the prettiest of contracts because South kind of reversed into 2 diamonds and North got, sandwiched in a little bit. He doesn't want to bid 2 no trump despite the heart stopper. That sounds a little bit too encouraging, I think, and might not even be natural. 2 no might be like pick a minor or something. He can't rebid a spade suit, and obviously his clubs are longer than his diamonds. This auction from South kind of sounds like South has a bunch of cards in the minors and not just some big balanced hand without a heart stopper. So 3 clubs, hoping for a 6-2 fit, but not rewarded for it this time. How'd the play go? We got a club lead, and then South elected to exit the King of Hearts to West's ace. So West is in and is thinking. I mean, it looks to me as if a club continuation makes some sense. We know South has diamond length. There's this queen doubleton of diamonds over here, so we can be pretty confident that South might want to ruff at least one diamond in the dummy. The club continuation does, based on the spot cards that everyone has, allow Declare to pull trumps, losing only one club from here. But it is not going to be pretty for the remainder of the hand. I mean, East can win this and return a club if he wants, or even put a spade through if he's feeling fairly confident about that. 7 of Hearts, I think, likely to be a count signal, because West wants to tell his partner that he doesn't have a 6-card heart suit, just in case East was the one with the heart void now, as opposed to Declare. So that would let East in on the fact that, you know, Declare's shape is whatever it is, something like this. So it kind of doesn't matter what East switches to. I mean, obviously a diamond switch would make things a little bit easy for Declare. A spade switch would be helpful, but Declare always can cross to the diamond queen to pitch a diamond loser on the Queen of Hearts. Doesn't need it to pitch a spade loser, for example. And it looks like, so I guess now I'm saying the defense is going to take 3 more tricks, and this will be down 1, which is going to be a bit of a disappointing result. For South, he picked up this nice looking 19 count at the start of the auction and had every opportunity to go a little bit slower. What would have happened to 1 spade? I mean, it's probably a pretty good contract with the trumps 3-3. Like, Declare has a bunch of outside cashers, basically, and I mean, presumably can score the ace-king of clubs, the ace-queen of diamonds, a heart trick, a spade trick, a long spade trick. I think that's already 7, if I'm counting correctly, and may well get something like club ruffs in the north hand or a diamond ruff in the north hand for an 8th trick. It would definitely have given Declare a plus score, but maybe not a particularly large plus score. Well, East is spending some time thinking. You know, what East doesn't want to have happen is he switches to a low spade and Declare puts in the 9, kind of divining the position. If he had king, queen, 9, that would be a disaster. Or he switches to the jack of spades in that scenario and partner wins the ace and returns the spade suit. That would be something he doesn't want to do. Like, a club exit feels pretty safe to me. So that might have been my choice in this spot. But alternatively, my tendency would be to switch to a low spade, though I have the feeling that a low spade might not be like the technical best play. But okay, East just kind of safety first. Let's exit to declare, let declare play the spade and diamond suits himself, as opposed to our side being forced to do that. In the New Zealand versus Australia Open match, New Zealand made 2 hearts redoubled for 14 imps. Oh my. You should get a link to that hand somehow. I don't know. Is there... Yeah, you can export it. You can do one of these things if you go into the match and export it and give me a link. Declare has some work to do. It's not like he's 100% convinced he can just lead a diamond to the queen and it'll work out. So we might see Declare, like, exit a spade. It is not being played on Vugraph. Well, that's a little sad. You figure that maybe 2 of the leaders of the event, or 2 of the top teams, would actually have a spot on Vugraph. So Declare gonna be hopeful here. If it is ace doubleton of spades with East, he can actually make the contract at this point. Low spade to an honor, duck a spade on the way back, but that is not the case. So spade to the king. West wins the ace. East is eventually going to get the jack of spades. And down 1. Board 2, we see 5 imps swung back the other direction. So, funnily enough, in one of the rooms, they played in exactly 1 club. How is that even possible? Well, I know how it's possible. I know how the auction went. I don't know why I clicked over here to see the auction. What is this? Excuse me? East has a 9 count with 2 aces. What are they doing? Hello? What? What are we watching? Yeah, where'd the auction go? Oh my. This is insane. I mean, I guess if they're playing some sort of like strong diamond system, I'm not familiar with what East-West are playing in the other room, but that could be a reason for passing out a club. East is like, I don't have a game. I still don't think it makes sense. You could have a spade fit, right? This is so weird. Yeah, South might have been tempted to balance, but I think also South has a pretty good idea that like something weird is going on, and he's vulnerable. So, you know, I'm pretty sure he would he might be thrilled to get out of the auction without giving up 800. But jeez. Okay, glad we're not watching that table at least. So 5 imps go back the way of Vinciguerra on that hand, and the match is tied once again after 2 boards. West taking a long time to decide what to open with this hand, finally comes up with 1 spade. The hand does fit the rule of 20. He has 10 high card points and 10 cards in his 2 longest suits. What? No, man. Come on. This can't be the real auction, can it? Okay. Okay, we're all good. We're all good. Vugraph error. I'm very suspicious now after seeing 1 club pass out. Well played. Wow, that is quite the difference in bidding. So spade passed 2 clubs. I wonder what 2 clubs is. I mean, it has to be a 3-card limit raise, I think. Like, we saw this east-west pair on board 1 not game force a 12 count. I mean, a pretty good 12 count on the first board of the set. So I can't imagine that this hand is a game force. I mean, unless they're just like pulling random bids out of a hat whenever it's their turn to act. Like, this to me seems inconsistent with what happened on the first board of the set. If 2 clubs is game forcing. I don't know. I mean, maybe it is. We'll see. 2 clubs got alerted. Opposite a 5-card spade suit. Yeah, I mean, Queen Doubleton of Hearts isn't a great holding. I'm just saying that game forcing this and not game forcing the first board is incompatible systemically. You're going to be looking for a new partner very quickly at this level of competition if you end up doing that. So spade passed 2 clubs, 2 diamonds. Double looks like it's takeout. Two spades by east. I mean, we're about to find out. So west bids 3 spades. And I'm still not sure what 2 clubs is. Like, even if east bids 4 spades here, I'm not convinced that this sequence has showed a game force with spades. But east is probably liking his hand right about now. The no wasted values in diamonds, opposite partners takeout double, 3 good spades. That is an ambitious 3 no trump bid, I have to say. So this is non-serious slam try in spades. Like, I get it that your hand has improved by the 2 diamond overcall a little bit in partners takeout double, but you have no aces. So West, a little surprised from my perspective that West didn't cue 4 diamonds at the very least. Opposite partners non-serious try. Doesn't this sort of, what do you mean by building? Like the auction? Oh, the bidding. Why not just say what your hand has? I don't know. I don't know. I'm a little confused. I know we've seen it was the accent through the keyboard. I get it. I got it. So this east-west pair, we've seen them a couple times, and they do play a bit of an unusual system. But I do agree that it's a little strange to, with whatever's going on, 3 no feels a little weird, 4 spades feels a little weird. The New Zealand word for bidding is betting. But is that just with the accent, or is it actually spelled that way? I mean, regardless of what was actually happening, East-West appeared to have landed on their feet in 4 spades, and they didn't get too high. Like, I could definitely imagine that a club ruff might happen on this type of bidding. You know, South has 6 diamonds and 4 clubs or whatever. Goes club to the ace, club ruff, something like that. Hey, Rob. Welcome. Fish and chips. How do you pronounce fish and chips? Or is it called something different? Also, fish and chips is like, I think that's a British thing, right? We do use that phrase in America, but it's not like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not like it originated here. Cheps or sheps? Well, spade return means there's no ruff. Declare gonna be pretty happy. This is wild to me that South returned a trump rather than like trying to cash a diamond. I mean, ace, king, queen, jack, 6th. Fish and chips. So 11 tricks. You know, oddly enough, 6 clubs has some play. I'm not sure it would make on a high diamond lead, tapping the west hand. Maybe it does. Wait a second. Maybe 6 clubs does make on a high diamond lead. Declare can just pull 2 rounds of trump. Oh, that's not enough. That's not enough tricks. Yeah, okay. So 6 clubs probably not gonna make. Also, no one's gonna get there. Like, you have 22 highs and an 8-card fit in clubs, but you also have a 9-card fit in spades. You're never gonna find the club slam. Hey, look at this. Who was the smart chatter that said, what happens if South just passes 1 spade on the previous board? Well, this is what happens. They get to play 1 spade and they make 2. So a couple of part score swings going the way of different teams to start out the match. Still not unbanned. Don't worry. DT is a cheapskate, and I've made it very clear that the only way he can get unbanned is if he subs to the channel. So we don't need to worry about it. Two hearts by North. It's pretty common for these 2 of a major preamps to be 5-card major and 5-card minor. That's played in various places in the world, and so looks like that's how it's being utilized here. East making a bit of an off-shape takeout double, but seems pretty reasonable. He has a 4-card spade suit. He has the diamond suit. He's not vulnerable. I think it just kind of depends on your agreements a little bit. Like, you can have the agreement, and I think this is like an old school style thing, where your takeout doubles have to be pure. So we wouldn't see any of this garbage nonsense like Dennis Bildo was doing the other day with, you know, like Queen Doubleton in the opponent's suit, or 4 small in the opponent's suit. And Dennis obviously not a big fan of the old school style. But I think like new school style bridge is to just make takeout doubles when you're short in the opponent's suit, or even when you're not short, just when you think like this is your best chance to get involved in the auction. So it's becoming more popular to just double with like opening values on a lot of hands. And that's kind of what East has here. Hey, Claude Janer. And so it's kind of important, right? Like along those lines that you and your partner are on the same page. And West's pass of 3 hearts, I think, strongly suggests they are. Because if West thought his partner had more of a classic takeout double with like a singleton heart and 4x1 in the other suits, West may well have ventured out like a 4 diamond bid over 3 hearts in the auction. But you know, if East is going to be making this double with 5-2 in the minors either way, you don't want to open, or you don't want to end up in a 5-2 diamond fit. I can call you Etienne, or Etienne. Gotcha. Last night, you opened 2 hearts. Oh yeah, how'd your game go last night, Rob, by the way? Did you do well? You opened 2 hearts in first seat, solid preempt, 9 points with 6 hearts. Next player doubled, your partner passed, and RHO passed, and you went for 300. So you're saying that this 2 heart preempt would not have worked out so well against the same opponents. Middle of the field, it's not too bad. So we're in 3 hearts. Declare has, it looks like, pulled a couple of trumps. And now appears to have a guess for the club queen for an overtrick. And he is going to effectively guess that the takeout doubler has the club queen, which will work out. So that's 10 tricks. I didn't pay careful attention to whether or not 10 tricks were always available on this hand. But if so, that could be a potential swing. Maybe South could be at fault for being a little bit too conservative. One, two, 3 losers, it looks like. Just needs to guess the queen of clubs. Yeah, I mean, maybe if clubs are 3-1, the contract's no good because the defense can set up a ruff by leading clubs immediately. And then Declare would have to pull trumps, but then could lose 2 diamonds. But we finally get a push board. Board 4. Both rooms getting to 4 spades, making 5. So board 5, there's a potential for a bit of a swing. You know, 4 hearts could be bid. East-West might find a large diamond fit and get in trouble. And yeah, we do get a slam alert from PJF on this hand. This looks like a pretty good slam, especially if we can play it from the north side where the queen of diamonds is protected. Because then we'll have 2 opportunities to find a 12th trick or something to do with the diamond queen. We could lead a club up towards the king jack, and if that fails, we can eventually cross over and take the diamond finesse. So slam looks really good. It might be a bit difficult to find. The hands kind of fit perfectly together. Now, this 2 spade bid is going to help North out a lot, right? Because king empty 6th opposite a 2 or 3 card holding really requires a lot of values to play the suit for no losers. But opposite a 4-card holding, ace 4th is sufficient. You know, like king 6th opposite ace 3rd, you're going to need a 2-2 split, which is less than 50%. King 6 opposite ace 4th, you're, you know, close to 80%. To have no losers in the suit. Yeah, so a spade, 2 spades, 2 no trump, asking. Okay, we're backing up. I wasn't actually sure who bid 2 clubs, or 3 clubs. I thought it was possible East might have bid 3 clubs, but no. East is elected to just pass throughout, not wanting to get involved when South has opened a club, vulnerable for that matter. So, spade, 2 spades, 2 no, some sort of artificial ask. 3 clubs feels like a weird response to me. What a lot of players do in this scenario is, especially if you're going to be raising on 3-card support, 2 no trump will ask, and you play steps for 3 minimum, 3 maximum, 4 minimum, 4 maximum. So to me, this looks like 4 with a maximum. Now maybe North-South have like inverted this. That's possible. So 3 clubs is showing 4 with a maximum. But anyway, let's see how the auction proceeds. So 3 spades by North, presumably going through 2 no, and then bidding 3 spades is forcing. So 3 no is a non-serious slam try. North needs to decide what to do. I wouldn't be surprised if North just bid keycard here, because, you know, a 4 diamond Q bid right now is probably just going to fetch a 4 heart last train bid, and it's not as if North gets any more information from that type of auction. Okay, a 4 club Q bid might not have occurred to me, given that clubs is partner's suit, but it's definitely reasonable. Like, one of the things I would have been tempted to do is bid 4 diamonds, and partner's 4 heart bid only shows a club control, so that'll give me a bit of information when I next bid keycard. And I think the big deal is if I bid 4 diamonds and partner bids 4 spades, saying, no, I don't have a club control, now I'm even more excited about my slam prospects, because partner then doesn't have a lot of wasted values opposite my stiff club. But I don't hate the 4 club Q. I mean, it's like pretty natural to Q bid things up the line. I just feel like as North, I'm planning on taking over control of the auction with keycard, and so I can kind of mastermind a little bit. North's still taking his time. It feels like an automatic 4 no trump at this point, right? Your partner has said, yes, I have controls, but I'm missing a diamond control. Well, that's what we get. So, like, we just don't need much, right? If partner has the same hand without the heart queen, then slam is still great. It's still the same effective slam. We need 2 1 spades and either a club hook or a diamond hook. The longer they take, the less likely slam appears to be. Well, it's, I think, less likely that they're going to bid it the longer they take. Well, we'll see what North elects to do. So, board 5 in the other room was a push, 3 hearts bid at both tables. Same auction, actually. Wow. That's kind of crazy that both North-Souths are playing the same system on the two teams. So both of them have this 2-heart preempt available, 5-5, in a major minor. Both these selecting to make the takeout double, which I think is pretty automatic. And then both South select to raise only to the 3 level. It makes some sense that South would only bid to the 3 level because South probably expects his partner has diamonds. But I think if South knew his partner's 2 suits were hearts and clubs, he would be a little bit more optimistic about the chances to make game. Like, all of these wasted Queen-Jack doubleton points and diamonds could have been helping to fill in the harder club suit. Or they could have just magically squished together to become the king of diamonds, and that would make the contract also quite good. What would my action have been this hand playing 2/1? Okay, so we do see North eventually does bid keycard, and this is going to push him into the slam. Well, I would open a no trump as South, 14 to 16. But if you're saying, like, if I was playing 15 to 17s and open a club, a spade, 2 spades would be my start. I mean, can't North splinter in clubs? Like, isn't 4 clubs a splinter? I think so. I might have chosen that. Wasn't that your auction from yesterday? I don't remember. I know you had asked something about that. That we did have a slight talk about the auction a club, a spade, 4 clubs, which is 6 clubs and 4 spades from opener, like 6 good clubs. I think you had mentioned something about a club, a spade, 2 spades, 4 clubs. Yeah, it's a picture bid by opener, but responder, it doesn't make any sense for responder to have a picture bid there. Hello? What is this nonsense? South showed 2 key cards. What is North doing? Doesn't he know South's hand basically looks like this? Yeah, 4 spades bid at the other table. A club, a spade, 2 spades. Okay, so they did splinter in 4 clubs. And it's kind of understandable to me that South would not feel great opposite a club splinter with King Jack 4th. But on the flip side, South has a 14 count, which is like a complete maximum. And I mean, South has a useful doubleton. The Queen of Hearts might be a working card. The Ace of Spades is, of course, very good. I think I would have queued 4 hearts back as South over the club splinter. I don't know. Let me try and answer the question you asked a while back. A club, a spade, 2 spades. I mean, like, 4 clubs occurs to me as North, but I'm perfectly okay bidding 2-no to ask. As I had mentioned, King 6th plays a lot differently opposite a 3-card suit than a 4-card suit. So a club, a spade, 2 spades, 2-no trump asking. As South, I would show 4 with maximum, 3 spades. I think I would bid 3-no then as North. Non-serious slam try, get partner to start Q-bidding. Partner would bid 4 clubs, I would bid 4 diamonds, partner would bid 4 hearts. Now that I've established we have like effectively stuff in every suit, I would bid 4 no's North and be quite content to just bid 6 over 2 without the queen. So I think that's how I would go about it if I was playing both hands and looking at all 52 cards. Ali likes just a simple Blackwood and then bid slam. I mean, I also like simple Blackwood and bid slam. You call it chicken Blackwood. That's a nice name for the convention when you stop in 5 with 4 key cards. It always feels kind of weird to stop in 5 with only 4 key cards because it's just like, what were you really hoping for? Were you going to bid 7 if you had all the keys and you only bid 5 with 4 of them? Pass, a club by North. Finally, one of the players got upset with their opponents bidding clubs in front of them and decided to bid his own suit. So Eastover calls a heart. Double by South, 4 or 5 spades. So that's what South has. Pass by West, no trump by North, he has a heart stopper. 2 clubs by East. He has a really good hand. I mean, 16 count, 5-5. Like, despite the fact that North has showed heart stuff and club stuff on the auction, he's still comfortable bidding. I might be a little terrified as East to bid. Wow. Look at this pass from West. Expecting that some of the time his partner would have longer clubs than hearts. Down 2 has been called. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if down 2 was the answer. So Declare has 2 diamonds, a spade, and 2 heart losers. Those are all certain. And then the question is, can he somehow... No, I guess there's no way to end play North out of his Queen 6 of clubs. That 6 of clubs spot is going to be pretty important. So yeah, it does look like down 2. As I was saying, I would have been terrified of making this 2 club bid as East, but East just said, hey, I have a good hand. Someone has to, you know, bid their suits. I suspect Declare is going to run this around to the 9. I don't really see a reason not to. You know going up with the king is not going to somehow magically let you solve the club suit. And North might be leading from the Queen 10 here, right? North opened a club, very possible. South might have been leading the singleton Jack of clubs. Okay, I really don't like this King of Clubs play, but I mean, it's not going to matter. Regardless of what Declare did, he would have ended up losing 2 club tricks. The defense isn't going to be trivial, I don't think. I mean, from North's perspective, it's going to be pretty easy because North is sitting on all of the 10, 9, 8 of hearts. So as long as North ends up getting in, like with the Ace of Spades, he'll just be able to continue playing hearts back at Declare. I am a little surprised Declare hasn't, like, either decided to play a spade or decided to set up hearts immediately. Okay, he does go with the spade. Probably to the king. Like, figuring there's some chance South might have ducked the ace of spades in this position, right? It would be very risky for South to win the ace of spades if Declare had a doubleton. Then that king, queen of spades, and dummy gets set up. So spade to the king and ace. North just needs to I suppose just needs to, like, make sure he doesn't get end played out of his two natural trump tricks. That's going to be the important thing here. So, okay. Declare does finally elect to set up the heart suit. North wins. And, ooh. Well, that was not best, I don't think. Although, I kind of understand. Whoa, that can't be right. No, if you cash the queen of clubs, you exit a club, right? I mean, the point being that North was afraid of leading diamonds. Okay, well, I say this, but North cashed the queen of clubs and immediately led diamonds. But if it had gone, okay, maybe the Vinciguerra operator missaw. I think it went queen of clubs club. So that if Declare had king doubleton of diamonds, right, then Declare would have been forced to lead diamonds away from the king. So North was maybe just, like, kind of guaranteeing down one in the contract, not really fighting for the contract to go down two. So 7 boards in, that is the first 1/8 of the set. We're gonna have 7 more boards in this segment, short break for comparison, and then we will be right back into the action. Other table did bid to 2 hearts. They made the same 2 club bid as East in this room. I mean, it's kind of hard not to. You do have this nice 16 count with 5-5. But South was a little bit more aggressive here, bidding both spades and diamonds. And East even bid a 3rd time. Okay, this is something I absolutely would not have done as East. I don't think we double 2 diamonds. I think we're just happy to have avoided a penalty. But that pushed them into 2 hearts, which did go down 1 all the same. So a spade by West, no trump by East, 2 clubs by West. All of these bids being alerted is a little scary to me. Maybe this is some sort of Gazilli type thing. So if this is Gazilli, 2 clubs is either clubs or, you know, some strong hand, I think. 2 diamonds is artificial, 8 or more high card points. 2 spades is 5 spades and 4 clubs. All pass. And minimum opener. So just a little bit of a roundabout way to get there, but Gazilli is a very popular convention in Europe. Not so much in North America. I've only played it like once or twice in partnerships. It is very powerful, but there is a lot of memory work to it. 4 spades is close to making has been called. It's true that the king jack of spades are both on side. So, I mean, on the surface, Declare only has 3 losers. They have a spade loser, a club loser, and a diamond loser. But this heart lead is going to mean Declare can't really set up their side suits without the defense tapping him a couple times. Communication problems as well. I mean, kind of. We do have entries to take 2 spade finesses, the ace of hearts, and we can force a diamond entry. I mean, obviously the key to the hand is the 10 of clubs falls, so that declare can get 3 club tricks. But yeah, I don't think 4 spades is a great contract, and I don't expect them to reach it in either room. So declaring only 2 spades is probably just going to take a fairly sensible line of play. Try and ruff a club in the dummy. I mean, now that that trick happened, he's going to be pretty excited about the rest of the play. So diamond to dummy, he'll take another spade finesse. And now he will make 4, right? The defense didn't tap him when they got in with the club ace. Why didn't South try and force West with a heart? I think because South is trying to beat 2 spades. If the defense was, or if declare was in 4 spades, I think South would have found the winning defense of continuing hearts. But against 2 spades, South is probably just saying, well, it looks like declare is trying to ruff a club and dummy. I'm going to try and prevent that so that if he does need that ruff, then we can gain a trick on defense. But yeah, the tap would have been more effective at holding down the over tricks. I mean, I guess declare can play the rest of the hand out. Like, this is another one of those hands where I would probably just claim. Like, declare is going to lead the king of diamonds now. North is going to duck the ace. And then declare is going to ask where the 10 of clubs is. Or maybe just play the club suit himself. Other table was in 2 spades, making 3. So we can take a look at the defense briefly there. We get a heart lead to the ace, queen of clubs to the ace, so very similar line of play so far. A spade, but at this table, that doesn't make any sense. Excuse me? Wait a second. Can we rewind the time where declare played the 5 of spades under the 6? And then North overtook with the 8 to continue spades. This can't be how this... No. How did these players get to the semifinals? That's a question that I keep asking myself. Well, players and VuGraph operators, because at least one of them has gone insane. And I think I might know who, but that was not the right way to play the hand. Okay, I'm actually shocked that declare made 9 tricks from there. That must have been very well played from that point forward. So board 9. East-West have a big heart fit, but North does get to open the bidding. I wonder what North is going to open. Probably a club. I mean, a club seems pretty normal. I'm pretty certain that this North player would never consider a no trump on his hand. And I mean, I also wouldn't consider a no trump. I think the hand's too good. But remove that queen of clubs, and I probably would. I don't expect East to overcall heart. If East overcalls a heart, we can see, well, I mean, something exciting is going to happen. But I suspect East is going to look at the vulnerability, decide that just a 5 count with a mediocre 5-card heart suit is not good enough, and pass. Now it's over to South. I mean, a spade looks pretty natural to me. So South does bid a spade, and we will see 2 hearts by West. So support double by North, I have to imagine. And how many hearts is East going to bid? That's the first question. I would probably bid 4. Okay, so East does bid 4. But looking at it, the hand itself is a pretty bad hand in terms of playing strength. Like Jack 10 9 4th of diamonds is probably going to be a little bit too slow to set up tricks. And the doubleton spade, doubleton club means we might just have like 4 black suit losers off the top. I could easily imagine East going for 5 or even 800 and 4 hearts. But the 4-heart bid was made. It fetched 4 spades by South, double by West with 2 natural trump tricks. Oh, I totally just worked out what happened at the other table in 2 spades. After the heart lead to the ace and the queen of clubs to the ace and the 6 of spades, West didn't play the 5, West played the 7 on this trick. That's why North had to win the 8. It was forced, and then North continued a spade. Okay, still maybe not my choice of spades to play from West, but I worked out the puzzle. Four hearts is down 2 and 4 spades makes. That sounds accurate. I think everyone at the table made sensible bids. West double of 4 spades is maybe a little aggressive. Like king, queen, jack, 6 of hearts is effectively taking 0 tricks a large portion of the time on this kind of auction. I mean, here it actually did take a trick, but you know, that probably means the opponent's hands are even better for the way the bidding has gone. I'm also pretty sure I would have just led the king of spades. I don't really see a reason to not like try and pull trumps. But this will be probably a decent pickup to north-south. I mean, 590 for this contract making will be a good result, of course. I'm not sure what Declare's thinking about. You can just win the ace of spades, and when East follows, you can press the claim button. Like, even if spades are 4-1, you have the ability to pull trumps because you can't get tapped. This is an incredible tank by South. And I mean, if spades are 5-0, like, there's nothing you can do about it. I'm sorry. The Vugraph operator is getting a drink. No, I think South is legitimately just, like, has some sort of blind spot as to what's happening. Alright. The ace of spades held the trick. We have played a second round of spades. I mean, now that the suit has split, it's going to be very easy. But yeah, it wouldn't have mattered if West had the queen doubleton of spades remaining. A heart return, we could just rough and dummy, cross to the diamond ace, play another spade to force out the last trump. 590, 5 imps. And I think this showcases one of the, I don't know how I would put it, faults of the imp scoring system. Doubling the opponents is kind of free, which seems a little bit silly. I mean, okay, it's 5 imps, right? But this isn't like the same effect as someone bidding to a game at one table and not bidding to it at the other table, where that's going to be like 6 imps not vulnerable or 10 imps vulnerable. 5 is a lot less than 10. So you can kind of just like double contracts, and if you think there's any chance it's going down, and you get paid off at imps, because if you're wrong, you lose a couple. If you're right, you win a couple. And if you're really right, then you win like 12 or 13. East opening a no trump. 14 count, 5 card major. Perfectly fine. West with 4 triple 3 doesn't even bother going through Stamen to look for a fit. I think I like West's decision. It's only 11 highs, but stuff in all 4 suits. You know the opponents are not going to run one of these suits against you, and the soft values in both diamonds and spades mean that those suits might not be as useful in a major suit contract, but they're going to be useful in a no trump contract. Wow. Look at this opening lead. South had 3 4-card suits to pick from and chose none of them. Singleton heart. He does catch his partner with a pretty good heart holding, but it's not quite going to be enough. North can effectively count that his partner has no high card points. So Declarer does get a heart, has 5 spades, has 2 clubs, that's 8 tricks, can force out a diamond, and will do so. So North either is going to have to just exit passively while Declarer sets up a diamond trick for his 9th trick, or set up his own heart suit, but that's going to give Declarer the 9th trick in hearts with the 10-9 of hearts and dummy. And how does a spade contract do? It looks like a spade contract does not do well. So this could be a bit of a swing. This could definitely be a swing. A heart to the ace, heart ruff, and then the ace king of diamonds would swiftly lead to the defeat of a 4-spade contract. Ace of hearts by North. I guess Declare also could have set up an extra trick in the heart suit, as opposed to setting up an extra trick in the diamond suit. Both of those would have been equally effective. I'm a little surprised he didn't try the queen of spades at the very least, just to see if the suit was splitting 5-0. South's getting squeezed, do you think, on the ace of hearts? Ooh, hoo, hoo, look at this. 4 spades undoubled, down 2 by East in the other room, so this will be a fairly large swing. So that means on the scoreboard, the match currently tied 10-10, but we will have the Lankveld team jumping out to a sizable lead after this hand. That'll be 800, and 800 is 13 imps? Question mark? I'm pretty sure it's 13. Well, quite reasonably, North elects to just set up his heart suit, hope that Declarer doesn't have 9 tricks. But Declarer does. And actually, from here, North is going to get squeezed in the minor suits. So Declarer is going to make an overtrick. Not that the overtrick really matters, so it'll be 830 in total. But Queen of Spades, North follows. That's good news for Declarer. Doesn't need to somehow get back to hand and take a spade finesse. And on the run of the spades, North will be squeezed out of his Queen of Clubs. Declarer can just pitch 2 diamonds from dummy. The squeeze is automatic. Doesn't really need to spend a lot of brain power in converting this. So 630, 13 imps, and we have the first large lead of the match. 4 boards to play in this segment. And then we will have a short break. So South not going to open in first seat, I don't believe. West should be opening his 13 count, probably with a club. Although, maybe if they're playing a 14 to 16 no trump, West could think about upgrading to a no trump. I don't like it because it's aceless, and the queens are a little bit of a sketchy value. But he has a good 5-card suit. Once again, this is a scenario where West is going to open a club and North is going to be sitting on a 5-card club suit. This has happened like 4 times this set, right? The first board, East opened a club, South had 5 of them. The second board, West opened a club, North had 5 of them. Board 7, North opened a club and East had 5 of them. I mean, this has happened repeatedly. What's East-West range for a no trump? I think they're playing 15 to 17, but don't quote me on that. The previous board, East did open a no trump with a 14 count, but it was a 5-card major, or a 5-card suit, so well worth upgrading. Yeah, 14 plus to 17. 13 cards. I think 13 cards for them is just their 1 club opening. Like, it could be anything, but seems to have clubs often enough. Ah, yes. And here we are with some more transfers. So a club by West, a heart by North. We get 2 clubs, which is a transfer to diamonds. So East is just showing a diamond bid, constructive or better. What do we do with South? I would be very tempted to bid 2 diamonds here. Limit raise and hearts. I guess if you wanted to be hyper aggressive, you could just jump to 4 hearts as South. I mean, it's not like it's preemptive, but I don't think you get doubled if you just bid 4 hearts directly. Anyway, oh my god, look at this result at the other table. South got to 2 spades. Must have opened 2 spades. So South opened 2 spades, 5 spades, and a 5-card minor. But I guess they shade that a little bit when they're not vulnerable. So maybe 5 spades and a 4 or longer card minor is the way this preempt works. I think in the past I've been told that playing it as 9 cards is strictly bad. I heard that from one of the European players who had played a lot of this method. So I don't remember the rationale for it. That's just, I'm throwing out a tidbit of some sort of information that I picked up. But it has caused North-South to miss the heart fit on this hand. Whereas at this table, we do find the heart fit. Every finesse in sight is working. King of Hearts on side, Ace of Diamonds on side, Ace of Spades on side. Although Declare may misguess the spade suit given the opening bid. But reaches only 3 hearts. I mean, on the surface, Declare has 2 losers, the pointed suit aces, but it's going to be pretty difficult to rough out the entire club suit. I mean, especially if East works out to lead a trump. And that's a very strong lead. I think a lot of players would be tempted to lead their Doubleton club with, oh, never mind. I'm sorry. Scratch that. North bid a natural 3 clubs in the auction. Okay, now a trump lead is kind of marked. But had North just not showed his side club suit, East may have been tempted to look for a club ruff with a Doubleton and partner suit and 3 small trumps. Well, Declare goes about establishing a hand entry, or hand re-entry, so that once he roughs a club, he can get back over to the north hand. What? Okay. I expected all of the 2 of spades, low spade, and jack of spades to be played. This was not something I had predicted. What? Okay, hold on. I'm trying to understand what West is playing for. Because this could make sense in the context of some situation where West is like trying to prevent Declare from eventually pulling trumps and running the spade suit, right? Like if Declare happened to have ace third in hand, opposite king jack fifth, then low to the jack, if West wins, you know, ignore the fact that he could give partner a spade ruff, because I think that is the more important point here. But if West wins, then Declare can run 4 rounds of spades, but if he ducks, Declare only gets 3 spade tricks. But that's like the only scenario I can think of. Just... No. This has to be an operator error, and we're going to... Like, what? Right? Like, this has to be an operator error. Any minute now, we're going to get the undos coming through. I'm certain of it. Oh god. Now Declare is going to pitch on the king of spades because he thinks West has the ace. Oh, this is incredible. Will he really, though? Like, I think Declare should just rough this trick and rough a club and plan on leading a diamond up to the king for trick 9. That seems like the simple way to make the contract. Dude, oh my god. If the king is... This would be the best Grosvenor. Because declare is certain, right? Like, he played a spade to the jack and West ducked. He's just like, oh, West is ducking the ace, right? So he thinks the spade honors are switched. And that's why he's led the king. Who cares what declare thinks? The Vugraph operator's playing it? You're right about that. Dude. I think that was a bit of a mistake, pitching the club. It looks to me like... Well, maybe it doesn't matter. I was just thinking, declare has roughed a lot of cards in his own hand. Maybe West should have been saving these clubs because they were going to represent tricks in the endgame. It's funny, if declare had guessed the spades correctly, he would be in a much better spot. He would have been able to lead the king of spades here and just discard a club loser from his hand. East would be forced to ruff, and then, you know, East would effectively have to lead a diamond into the king and dummy. Now, with all that said, I think declare should still ruff this. And he'll still come home with 9 tricks. East can overruff, but I mean, East is effectively end played at that point. A trump back will pull all the defender's trumps. Declare will be able to take the diamond finesse himself. And if East elects to cash the diamond ace, then the king of diamonds will score a trick and declare still has a high heart. So it might look counterintuitive for declare to ruff this, and I'm guessing that's what he's thinking about, or what the Vugraph operator's thinking about. Because you know you're getting overruffed. So you could just as easily like make a loser on loser play to some extent, pitch a club here. But North does work out to ruff this trick. And so East is effectively end played now. Tries the ace of diamonds, but that is going to be declare's 8th trick. Jack of hearts still comes home for a 9th. And win 1. A hard fought win 1, because 2 spades did make in the other room. So 3 boards to go in this set. And how are we doing on time? It looks like we're going to be finishing up a little bit early. Let me update a couple of chat commands while I'm at it. Got to get the new scoreboard for the semifinals up and running. So, quick update while I'm here. In the other match, France Green is out to a 20 imp lead over Vinci. There we go. I have updated the standings command, so now you can take a look at the scoreboard whenever you want. We get a no trump by North, 16 count. South has to decide if his hand is worth an invite. So he could go looking for a 4-4 spade fit, and he does. I think it's very reasonable with a 5-card suit in general, especially red at imps, that oftentimes You have some 5-card suit, partner has ace third. That's just enough to bring home 4 tricks in the suit, and therefore 3 no trump has some play. And vulnerable games at imps don't need to be much better than like 35 or 36% to be worth bidding. So even if you have a 5-2 club fit here, you know, a 3-3 split is 36%, and that's like borderline for whether or not you want to be in the game. Just looking at the imp odds. North may be being a little bit aggressive. So North, of course, responded 2 spades to Stayman, but then over South's 3 spade bid, North with a 4-3-3 hand. I mean, he does have a bunch of aces, but distribution's awful. He has no spot cards, you know, a couple of 9s and a couple of 8s, but it's not like he has a suit like Queen 10-9 of clubs. That would be much better. Or Ace 10-9 of diamonds. That would be much better. So I think North kind of got the imp fever and just felt obligated to bid a game vulnerable, but this might not have been the hand to do it. 1 no trump was bid and made at the other table, so just on the nose, which means North opened no trump, South elected not to invite with his hand, with a 5-card club suit. And down 1 or down 2 has been called. So the spades are pretty poorly positioned. Looks like East-West have 2 spade tricks, a heart, and 2 clubs. As long as they can safely exit in red suits and not break the club suit for declare, which it looks like they're going to be able to do. So even 3 spades down 1 would have been a bit of a loss, but 4 spades down 2 is going to be a pretty sizable swing, going the way of, once again, Lankveld. So what does declare need for this contract to make? I mean, he has a heart loser, he has a spade loser, and he has a club loser. He can't afford any other losers, which means he's going to need his spade losers to be held to 1. He'll need the king of spades on side. He's going to need his club losers to be held to 1, which means he's going to need to guess the like ace doubleton of clubs, basically, lead low towards one of the honors, and then duck on the way back. It's a pretty bad game, but it has some chances. Unfortunately, when declare does, I have to imagine he's going to win the king of diamonds and lead a spade to the queen immediately. I can't see what else he could possibly do. But when that doesn't materialize, he's just going to do his best to try and avoid going down too many. So there it is, spade to the queen. You know, it's possible that he could have tried for the percentage play in the spade suit itself by leading low to the 9 on the first round. That way he would have picked up Jack 10 third of spades on side. But I think his concern, which was my concern, which is why I suggested low to the queen, is he doesn't really have a lot of dummy entries. And if he starts using those dummy entries to, say, ruff a diamond, for example, or if he starts getting back to dummy by shortening himself in trumps, he might not be able to set up the club suit for later in the play. Because it's not like he only needs to guess the ace doubleton of clubs and only needs to bring the spade suit home for one loser. He still has to deal with the extra diamond or heart losers in his hand, and he can't ruff both of them in the dummy while simultaneously pulling trumps and setting up clubs. So spade to the queen looked like a pretty natural plan to me. And then from there, assuming that won, I might be tempted to just lead a club to the king next, try and set up the club suit before I lost control of the hand. All of this doesn't matter. I mean, this is purely just some sort of hypothetical if the cards lay a little better for declare, but here they of course do not. So declare now, I think kind of doing the smart thing by ducking a round of hearts, cut communications between the opponent's hand, doesn't want to have any sort of, later in the play he tries to set up clubs and they get a club ruff, something like that happening. So good technique to duck the heart. This might also let him just ruff 2 red suits in the dummy, now that he knows he's going down and it more or less doesn't matter how he plays the contract from here. So he'll be a little more comfortable just, winning the ace of hearts on a heart return, or maybe winning the ace of diamonds on a diamond return, heart ruff, red suit over to hand, diamond ruff, then lead a club to the queen or something like that. Try and get out for down 1. But none of it is going to work. Well, West finds, I think, the most testing defense to declare, because now if he does ruff both red suits in the dummy, he's going to be exposed to getting tapped and lose all of his trumps. But looks like he's kind of worked out that that's his plan, so he does ruff both a diamond and a heart. And now spade to the queen, or not spade to the queen, club to the queen. He'll duck a club on the way back. But East-West will take 2 club tricks and still get the jack of spades. Down 2. Add 200 to the 90 that was scored at the other table, and that's going to be, I'm calling it 7 imps. So 7 imps to Lankveld, who has opened up a 19 imp lead with 2 boards to play, although that might increase further here, looking at the result from the other table. 4 hearts doubled down 4 in the West. That does not look like the spot you want to be in. Wow. I see how they got there. This might be a push, actually, now that I'm looking at the hand. I bet North opens 4 diamonds. Yeah, sticks and wheels, as they say. The good old 1100. It could be a good score if the opponents are cold for vulnerable slam, but in general it is not. Four diamonds is maybe a little bit aggressive. It's a pretty bad diamond suit, and the distribution's pretty rotten. So I do like 3 diamonds a little better by North. Although this isn't going to vault the opponents into a 4-heart contract. In fact, this might even go worse, because this might go 3 diamonds pass double. Like, I kind of understand four diamonds pass. You don't really want to double as West. You have such disparity between... let's just make sure that that was actually the auction. No, it wasn't. It was three diamonds pass. So three diamonds pass at both tables. So I don't need to talk about four diamonds anymore. It was never bid. Three diamonds pass. I do think West should bid. The question really is just like, what do we want to bid? I would be tempted to double, but I understand wanting to bid three hearts because, again, like there's just such a disparity in length between your two major suits that you know, you don't want to double on here partner bid four spades and then think, what if four hearts was better? Should you pass three now? I mean, yes, I would. Like, I have my bid, right? Partner expects that this hand is within my wheelhouse. Should I pass three now doubled? Probably not. I might redouble. I would be very tempted to redouble. Like, I don't think I'm going to bid a suit on my own. Okay, this is kind of a sensible alternative, but I would have been worried that partner might have a hand with just like long clubs and a diamond stack. And so I really didn't want to bypass four clubs, which might be our best place to run to. Okay, so four hearts doubled, duplicated in both rooms. Did we also see three no get doubled in the other room? Yeah, it was the exact same auction. Wow, West bid four hearts at both tables. Again, I don't think I like the four diamond bid, but you know, it's kind of hard to argue. Once you see the double from South, you know that you're just completely screwed and there's nothing you can do about it. You want to roll back time to pass out three diamonds, of course. So question number one is, how many tricks does this actually go down? Because the other table went down four, but I don't think it's so automatic that the defense is going to go ace of clubs, club rough, spade to the ace club rough. I mean, South probably knows the club position. His partner wouldn't just be leading a random jack doubleton of clubs. Maybe South is thinking about what to give suit preference for, because South may expect that West has a diamond on the auction. His partner opened three diamonds. He has zero. There's five in the dummy. So declarer is likely to have one if his partner only has a 7-card suit. And he does. So South does give diamond suit preference. I don't think this is going to throw North off all that much. North can probably work out, assuming he's reading the situation, that his partner's sitting over here with a diamond void and doesn't expect him to have an 8-card suit. The 7 of clubs suit preference very clearly looks like he's asking for a diamond through so that he can ruff. But North sensibly sees the suit preference, understands that it doesn't make sense because he actually has 8. So declarer is over ruffing, switches to spades, to get his club ruff. Yeah, North can see the rest of the diamonds and dummy, but one of the main points about this is like, let's suppose North had showed 8 diamonds in the auction, right? Let's say it had gone 4 diamonds, pass, 4 hearts, pass, double. I'll pass, okay? Now if South wins the ace of clubs and gives suit preference for diamonds, he's really telling you, please don't lead spades. And so then your best defense might actually be to lead a diamond, or might actually be to just put a trump into dummy singleton ace. So it is kind of important for North to work out that the reason he's rejecting partner suit preference is because his partner can't see that he has an 8-card diamond suit. Okay, 4 tricks in. It looks like South has 3 more heart tricks. Is that true? No, it's not true. Because now we can ruff a club, play a spade to a queen, and play the ace of diamonds. I think this is only down 3. And I'm not sure if this is going to be a fault of the defense or just good play by Declare to go down 3 on this one. So South is kind of caught. If South ruffs, that gives up a natural trump trick and the 9 of spades is high. If South discards, Declare will pitch a spade, ruff a diamond low, and then exit a low trump to end play South into giving him the heart queen at the end. So either way, one of South's trump tricks goes away. Yeah, so South kind of correctly works out that if he discards, he's toast. Therefore, he has to ruff this trick. But it was no good. His partner started with an 8-card suit. So 300. They're going to be pleased to have 1 imps on that board. That's what, 8 imps, I think, for 300? Seven imps. Great. We also saw 290 on the previous board, which was 7. Maybe I should have worked this out for myself. But that's why I have you there for me. Other table, I think, is done. So very last hand, they bid to 4 spades and made 12 tricks, east-west. Which can't... What is West doing? Just claim. Why are we still playing? Are we going to claim now? Okay, there we go. 7 imps to Lankveld, who now is ahead by 26. And, oh my. Exciting last board. So the spade slam happens to make because North holds the ace of spades. I mean, you're going to have to guess the spade suit, though. And in a spade slam, maybe it makes more sense to lead low to the king and then cross back and run the 10. That way you pick up ace-jack 4th on side. And it's a coin flip between, you know, ace 3rd, jack doubleton, or jack 3rd, ace doubleton. So running the 10 is technically the better percentage play. But, you know, it's hard to reach the slam, and the other table only bid to the 4 level. There's also the consideration that diamonds appears to be a better suit than spades for east-west. Now, East opens a diamond. I like this. I know that I've gotten a little pushback from some people about not opening my 5-card major when I have one, but in most parts of the world, it is very normal to open your longest suit. You don't like a diamond. Get out of here. Rob would open a diamond. See, Rob has my back. Robs of the world unite. So, a diamond, heart, a spade, 2 diamonds, game force. Now East can bid 2 spades. That makes sense then. You play 4-card majors, canapé. So you prefer opening your shorter suits, as do the players like in the 50-mile geographic radius right around me. Wait, you play a system and you don't like it? Or you're telling me that you don't like opening a diamond in 2/1 context? Zebatin says, with spades it's okay to open the minor, because you get to bid 1 spade. But with hearts, it's uncomfortable. That's true. It's very true that like you can open a diamond and just bid some number of spades next when it comes back to you, and you're always going to be able to bid spades. Like even if the opponent's bid up to 4 hearts, you can open a diamond and rebid 4 spades, and partner knows what you've got, mostly. Whereas with diamonds and hearts, you can't do that. It feels like a coin flip to me. I've done it for a long, long, long time, and I guess I would say like I've had both really good results and really bad results, and I can't tell which one is more common. But it is definitely very swingy. I'll put it that way, because a lot of the world opens a diamond with this type of hand, which is, not unusual. But there are a lot of players like in every event that you're going to play outside of these like world-class team events, where if you're playing in a match point field, all of the weaker players are just going to open this hand of spade. And so you're kind of swinging the board in those types of events by opening a diamond instead. Wow. West gave up. So East opened a diamond, rebid a spade, jumped to 3 spades, which it looks like must be some sort of conventional thing, showing 6-5 to them. 4 club Q-bid by West. East elected not to get involved, Q-bidding anything. And West said, okay, 4 spades. I mean, it's true that West doesn't have good spade support. Like 3 small, he really needs his partner to have strong spades for the slam to make. So all of these values, like the king of clubs and queen of hearts, are completely wasted. And we could argue that West's hand is more effectively like a 14 count. Ace of hearts, ace of clubs, ace of queen of diamonds, opposite a hand that's 6-5 in the pointed suits. So it's just a bit of an illusion that West has a strong hand. You have to think of it all in the context of the auction. But Declare here does take the percentage play in the spade suit. They did not at the other table, or maybe they got a little bit of different defense. We can take a look at that. Ooh, look at this. Okay, we had the 2 spade opener, spades and a minor. Is this the same pair? No, it's not the same pair who did it with 5-4. Because I was going to say, if you can have 5-4 for this bid, or 5-6 with a much better hand, you're probably doing something wrong. But 2 spades, 2-no, 3 spades, 4 spades. They get a club lead. Declare played a spade to the king. Diamond to the ace. Queen of diamonds feels like an unnecessary and weird play. And then played a spade to the queen. It's very reasonable at the 4 level to play the suit this way. You don't need to take the percentage play when there's an alternative contract. And, so Declare is just thinking that in 6 spades, my counterpart will be running the 10. But in 4 spades, that means maybe I should do the opposite to try and gain an imp here or there. Yeah, West's only concern on the auction is just the trump quality, but I think that's a good reason to, as he did, where was the auction? Pass out 4 spades. Like, after opening the bidding and jumping to 3 spades, East made no forward going noise. And if East really had a spade suit that was solid, or solid missing one, just off one loser, maybe East would have been cooperative in some way.